Alright, so you have this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing you have to do is draw the electrons on the oxygen. And then I kind of just draw this bond here between the oxygen and hydrogen so I remember. So oxygen right now has 6 things, so it's neutral, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you are doing this in a solution of HBr. Now, OH is a really bad leaving group, and that's just something you have to remember. That's what he told us. And so, in order for it to leave from this molecule, because obviously we have to carry out some kind of substitution, the way to do that is by making this water first. And the first thing you notice is that OH needs an extra H in order to become water. So you have this HBr in solution, right? And this OH is going to take this hydrogen off.
Okay.
And then the electrons here just go back to bromine.
Okay.
Now, you have to do this all in one step because it's SN2, which means there's no carbocation intermediate, so you don't
Okay.
draw any arrows until the final arrow.
Oh, okay.
And you don't draw any one-sided arrows until, like, the end of the process. So let me draw the rest of this. So you have your, this, right? That's the rest of the reaction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you kind of just continue this all in the same thing, and I think you can draw these equilibrium arrows because
Okay.
it's not like going to the next step, it's just kind of like the same thing.
Okay.
So, let's see here. I didn't mean to write that. Okay. So now you have this thing, right? And you have hydrogen here, 2 electrons, and then the bromine, and this oxygen is positive because it has 5 things now instead of 6.
Oh, okay.
And then this Br has all these electrons too. So now, this is pretty much water, except it needs to take the electrons on here, right? Because there's 2 electrons between the oxygen, I'm just going to circle it. So this oxygen here and this carbon here. There are 2 electrons here. And so for this to become water, because remember water's structure is, it's that, right?
Yeah.
So for it to become water, it needs to take these electrons. So what you would do for the last part is you would take this over here, and then since it's a substitution, the bromine would come back and take the spot here.
Oh, okay.
So then your final arrow would just be that, because it would just go to these products. And you could just draw it up to the question like that.
So you just do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.